done me born and
Frequency 92.7 3 FM.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News on 3FM 92.7. My name is Beatrice Adu. The news is also live on Kesme 107.1 FM and across the world at 3news.com. Coming up, minority in Parliament takes on Finance Minister. We'll bring you details. Also, concerns are raised over increasing cases of kidney diseases across the country. We'll bring you more as the world marks World Kidney Day today. And President Mahama has been meeting some CSOs. We'll bring you some details. Very much for joining us, and let's start from here. And the government is racing against time to secure funding sources to bridge the financial gap in the treatment of chronic diseases, including cancer, kidney and cardiovascular diseases. As a result, a 9-member task force has been inaugurated to bring recommendations to bridge the funding gap as promised by the Mahama Cares initiative. This has become necessary at the expiration of the free dialysis program that was introduced by the Eswell NPP administration. Let's listen to the Health Minister, Minta Kando, speaking on this earlier.
there was no or sustainable sources of funding for the dialysis. It never happened. I was a ranking member on the committee, and at the time, we even suggested to make provision for dialysis. So there need to be a sustainable and a reliable sources of funding. That's why there's a need for us to provide this special purpose vehicle, a reliable one, so that if you are confronted with this chronic disease, it will not be the case that because you cannot afford the treatment, you then be nearing your grave.
And you heard the Health Minister, Kwabena Minta Kando, President of the Renal Disease Patients Association, Bafwa Hinkra, says the free dialysis program is still running, but uncertainty around the next phase of the free dialysis initiative is worrying.
If you are diagnosed end-stage renal failure, then I would say your whole world is doomed. If I even have the money, whatever you have, for you to be on dialysis, all the money will go away. If maybe God is not ready to collect your life from you and God wants you to live and you need to be on the treatment, everything will go away. It's capital intensive. Very, very capital intensive. Because as I'm talking to you now, a session of dialysis, people are charging 800 a session. And you might need 2 or 3 a week to live.
The free dialysis program, is it still running?
Yes.
I see. And what portions of the treatment does it take?
It takes only the dialysis. So the access alone, getting the access, being it a fistula, neckline, or femoria, the fistula now is going to cost you about like 5K. Neckline will cost you roughly about 3,000. The cheapest you get is the femoria. That one, right, you cannot. It's not permanent. It's like temporary something. That one will cost around 2,000 plus.
Right.
So everything about it is money.
And you heard the Bafwa Hinkra, he's president of the Renal Disease Patients Association. his administration will not tolerate underperformance. President Mahama will bring you that sound later, but let's speak to Professor Enoch Enchi. He's a governance and leadership consultant. Thank you so much, Prof. Good afternoon to you, and thank you for your patience.
No problem. Good afternoon, and greetings to all your listeners everywhere in the world.
You must be impressed with this step taken by the president to reverse the losses being incurred by these SOEs.
I think Ghanaians will be highly impressed with this direction because the SOEs were supposed to be a mosaic of a melting pot, but they become a leaking pot that all our revenues and resources are going in there. Look at the losses. For the past 5 years, 27.3 billion Ghana cedis gone. That can solve most of our problems. And yet we have high emoluments. We are not implementing merit pay. We are supposed to tie their bonuses to their performances. We are supposed to implement performance monitoring systems to monitor these SOEs. We are supposed to develop their capacity skills and management skills, especially because there are many square pegs in round holes. In fact, 65%, according to research, of the success of every organization hinges on the quality of individuals that you employ. So we have to look at the number of people or quality of people we are employing to head as CEOs and directors of these SOEs. We also have to restructure them to operate like a business. Because if you are running at a loss, if you pick what our research desk talk about, 5.9 billion Ghana cedis from ECG, why those losses when we are prepaying for the meters? So you pay before you use it, and yet we are running at 5.9 billion losses. Ghana Water Company, there are leak pipes everywhere. And then we don't even have these engineers to go and then fix the leaking pipes where the water is just spilling over and nobody is fixing them. So if you talk about inefficiency, it abounds in our SOEs. And you can see that even in America, that is why Trump has selected Elon Musk to be the director in charge of efficiency. So efficiency is what the world is looking at. And I think that the president, this step, is in the right direction. My fear, though, is that SIGA, who is supposed to do this, are supposed to implement it to the latter, negotiate performance index, as the president said, implement compliances. Those who are underperforming, either we merge them, diversify them, or making sure that we are just leaving the profitable ones, or we can just bring in PPP, public-private partnership, to make sure that we have these SOEs working and getting us the profit that they are supposed to be getting.
Indeed, and this is just a first step, and you've enumerated a number of things that the government could do, including restructuring of these SOEs. How do we make this a sustainable path to recovery so that we don't always have to meet you before you perform?
We start with the leadership, those we select to be there. That is number one. Two, the board. We need efficient people to be there to hold the board accountable for whatever they do out there. Three, we need to implement what the president is saying, that procurement fraud will not be tolerated. Corruption will not be tolerated. It will be prosecuted. That word is very important to me. Those who corrupt themselves, these leaders, we should prosecute them. And then the rubber stamp board members who have just been endorsing what is going on, we should also make sure that they are dissolved and we get competent people to be in the boards of these SOEs.
Prof, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you. Have a great day.
I wish you the same. And that was Professor Enoch Enchi. He's a governance and leadership consultant, bringing us his thought on the step taken by the president. Let's bring you some more here. And the Minority Caucus in Parliament is accusing the Finance Minister, Dr. Kasia Latufo, of manipulating the fiscal data to score cheap political points during the presentation of the 2025 budget. Former Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, who addressed the media, called on the International Monetary Fund, IMF, to address what the minority called erroneous impression being created by the government before more damage is done to the economy. Evelyn Tingma has been at this press conference. She joins us live on the line. Evelyn, just tell us more about what the minority is saying.
Hello, Beatrice. So what the minority basically is saying is that the budget presented by the finance minister is full of critical errors, which according to them is deliberate by the minister to tarnish the image of the Akufo-Addo-led government. And so, for instance, they said that the finance minister in his presentation mentioned that the expenditure was 49.2 billion cedis, and he sought to create the impression as if this figure was just spent in 2024, which actually is not the case. So they think that the true picture of the economy, which was painted, the true picture of the economy, which was painted, was not painted in a manner, and wants the IMF to speak to the matter. Otherwise, the NEC government will run down the economy. So, for instance, the former Deputy Finance Minister, Abina Osei-Asare, said an amount of 13.8 billion cedis had been devoted to the Big Push, one of the flagship program by the NDC government. And according to her, they don't really know what exactly is entailed or is contained in this particular Big Push program by the NDC, yet such an amount has been given to that particular sector to deal with. And so the group is urging the finance minister to tread cautiously, and that he's also been borrowing too much. And according to them, if the finance minister does not stop this, by the end of this year, he will have borrowed about 200 billion cedis, which he said is not good for the economy. And so basically, they are discussing the budget matters. And we know that the budget is yet to be debated on the floor, but the minority is raising some of these concerns before the debate. And so basically, that is what the minority has been talking about, the budget that was presented by the finance minister.
But are you able to tell us, really? I know you said that the House is yet to debate the budget. Has there been any preliminary comment from the majority responding to this press conference by Amin Adam and his members?
Not that I can say, Beatrice. The majority side has not spoken about the budget, and it was just the individual interviews that we had, but they have not said anything concerning that yet.
Thank you so much, Evelyn Tingma, reporting live from Parliament and also giving us update from that press conference held by the minority led by former Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam. Now, a joint rapid response team from the Tema and Takoradi Forest District of the Forestry Commission has arrested 8 illegal miners, all Ghanaians, and retrieved 7 motorcycles and 3 tricycles from the Subri Forest Reserve in the Western region. Irama Smith is there, joins us with details. Irama, it seems this illegal mining menace is not letting up. Just talk to us about this operation and the devastation, really, these members have already caused to the forest.
You are right. It's not letting up. It seems to even be getting worse. Let me give you a little background about the Subri Forest. It is the biggest forest in Ghana, measuring about 580 square kilometers. And in fact, it has everything that a forest reserve has to have. It has a river running through it with tributaries. It has production forests. When I talk about production forests, that means concessions have been given to companies to harvest timber, among others. So it's a very rich area. It has an area designated globally significant and all that. But illegal lumbering activities ongoing over there, people farming in the forest area. The worst of it is the...
Hello, Rama Smith. I'm sorry, we seem to have lost her. We'll try and bring you that in our subsequent bulletins because we are out of time. Log on to 3news.com for more news. My name is Beatrice Adu. Have a good afternoon.